Hello, hello, hát ízelítő volt ez a szám, mert ugye okos voltam és nem indítottam el a hangot, szóval hello, szevasztok. Ahogy mondtam, kicsit átrendezzük blokkokba a dolgokat, úgyhogy most ismét NBA jön. Folytatjuk tovább az alapszakaszt, folytatjuk a My Career fejlődést. Hogy mindenki élvezetére váljon. Úgyhogy nézzük is. Hát igen, my team az my team, de nézzük a karrier tovább. 22. meccs, vagy valami ilyesmi. Ahol játszhatunk. Ugye annyit értünk el tegnap, hogy már 77-esek vagyunk, és nem sokára kimaxoljuk a close shot skillünket. Ehhez ugye most az 15-6-tal álló, nyugaton második Clippers-szel kell csinálnunk valamit. Hát nézzük. Lehet tudjuk-e győzni őket. Ennek a copyright-os zenékkel a 2K22 intrók.
I know you want to learn more about NBA
2K22,
so here to talk about it is the source himself, gameplay director Mike Wang. Welcome again.
Hello Mike. Kihagyjuk, nézzük inkább a Staples Center-t.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The view high above our broadcast location tonight, the Staples Center in
Itt
Los
látszik
Angeles.
egyébként az érdekes tény, hogy Los Angeles nincs teletolva felhőkarcolókkal.
DA, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, the Clippers, for now at least, are still...
There's been a transformation here in LA. There is no doubt about that. DA, thank you. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland.
De bizonyám, hogy a kezdőben vagyok ismét.
Then it's Anthony. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic, and it's Hood in at the three, the small forward.
And for Los Angeles,
they've got Ivica Zubac, Patrick Beverley out there with Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Morris in at the power forward. And Portland starts out with the ball.
And when you watch Damian Lillard, I mean, he has such incredible instincts to
jó nagy homályjal kezdve.
From that, you know what they call it, the point guard position, but to me, it's a lead guard now because the elite point guards have to score the basketball at a high level in today's NBA.
George sem lesz egyszerű a dolgom.
Scoring is prominent. Dame is a prominent scorer, so he understands how to mix it up. But his first job is to score, where our first job was to pass.
Yeah.
We saw it last year with a couple 60-point games. He was terrific. Good, nice job down low.
Ő tényleg point guard és sokkal magasabb nálam.
Paul George can beat you with power or finesse.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Uh-oh.
And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. 4-point game. And Beverly kicks to Zubac.
Megállítottam a fast break-et, ennek örülünk.
And this summer, Vince Carter retiring after his 22nd NBA season. That's a record for longevity in the game. Kenny, he's closer to our age than he is to some of his teammates.
Yeah, that's amazing. A guy could do it at this level so long and really help the team instead of just be on the team. He's an incredible athlete. That dedication and willingness is just rolled over into time.
Never had to be the main guy at this stage of his career. Always wanting to supplement, help, tutor, mentor, and he stayed healthy.
Stayed healthy, that's the key.
Leonard looking around. Outside, George shoots. And again, no good by the Clippers.
All
alone from mid-range. They know he won't miss many of those.
Lillard dishes to Junior. He doesn't hit
Kár.
that. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Kenny, you watched the NBA for so long. What are some things you find that make successful front offices in this league?
You can't be lazy. You got to get on the road.
Guys aren't lazy.
There's some guys there, I'm telling you. You can't be lazy. You got to be on that road. You have to understand. It's easy to see kids at Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky. But have you gone to Europe, yourself as a general manager?
Bravo, Carmelo. Jó lesz, jó lesz.
In the mid-major level and been at games when there's only 1,500 in the stands, but there's Paul George playing. Like, have you found him? That's not lazy.
And the thing is, he's calling lazy, honestly, is being complacent. And the other thing you got to be, quite frankly, you got to get lucky. You know, you got to get a Kawhi, and you got to get a Giannis, or you got to get a superstar caliber player that allows you to build around. Otherwise, man, it's going to be a challenge.
Sebas, hello.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Portland ends up going with the new group.
Na, és vezetünk. Rá kell mennem Georgie-ra, mert...
Morris kicks to Beverly. Here's Zubac coming off a solid outing against Washington. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Count the basket.
Fognom kellett volna.
6 points.
Another reason why Kawhi is a consistent winner.
Hűha.
He makes plays for
De
others.
ezt miért csináltad? Tehát miért nem adtad oda? Ezt nem hiszem el.
There's Yusuf Nurkic, then it's Anthony, and it's Hood in at the 3. Portland leading.
Dobd le, Carmelo. Be kell dobni. Úgy.
And the 3 ball is good. He has 5.
You know, you can tell the three-point shot is something that Melo has developed over his course of time in the league.
You know, every player here.
Persze.
Look out below.
We'll still be talking about that tomorrow. George delivers a work of art.
Nem oda.
Nurkic, the pass to Junior. Out to Anthony.
Szép. Kijátszod. Bedobod. Úgy.
Anthony's got 5 points in the quarter.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Leonard against Hood.
Ne, ez az. Ez az, gyerünk. Ott volt.
Lillard against George.
Most komolyan.
Those defensive instincts give George the edge. It's like he knows exactly where the ball is.
And it's Beverly missing.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Lillard with
Jó, az jó. Gyönyörű.
And the Trailblazers another 3.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
And Beverly kicks to George. A 3 from Leonard. Portland grabs the miss. Nurkic has got his 4th rebound in this one. To the paint, here's Anthony. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
That's what you call leaving no doubt. Anthony responds emphatically.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And it's Leonard missing. The Trailblazers on offense. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Gyűnnek a fenek már egy zicserre is.
And Kenny, great to
Hoppá!
have you on the show as always. You got to come back soon. Promise us you'll come back soon.
I'm coming back next week.
Good.
There's more food down here. It's friendly about here.
Bravo,
it's more room, man. I can't wait to be here. More air, everything, man. Everything's more down here.
And what an experience it was, Greg, to have Kenny joining us. You always know he's going to give you his honest opinion.
Na, megtartjuk az előnyt. Hát, majdnem.
We've reached the end of the first half of play. Trailblazers lead by 8. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Carmelo looked like the offense was really working there. How were you guys?
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. Setting the floor for the Clippers. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Paul George is out there with Patrick Beverly. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Morris in at the 4-man position. Greg, as a point guard, you must have had so much fun being surrounded by so much
hogy csikizem a hasát.
You know, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, I mean, I could go on. And you're right, I was blessed to play alongside these guys. They were incredible talents, finishers. And, you know, you don't always appreciate it going through that moment, but the fact that we're all still close and stay in contact, man, what an awesome experience to be a part of that team.
Chemistry must have been off the charts on that team.
Kétségbe esett próbálkozás volt.
Personalities, man. It was a different era back then, but I tell you, again, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
How about that mobile one block we just saw? Amazing defensive work.
És így még assziszt is lett, gyönyörű.
When they're trailing, energy on D. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
The three from George. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
You know, these are the kinds of nights when he gets it going like this. Melo can be a one-man band.
Here's Beverly.
Ne dobja be, gyerekek, szedjük le.
Here's Zubac.
Szedjük le.
Again, unable to change momentum here.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's
nem bírtam elugrasztani.
How about the timing from Paul George on that rejection? Twice on the pipes.
Nem bírtam elugrasztani. Nem áll! Meg lennének a lepók.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. Collins checked in for the Trailblazers. 2 shots. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Ray, compare the times when you played as an NBA player with a lot more contact and what was like go on the floor to what we're seeing now, when there seemed to be a lot of
ledupláztak, érted? De mindegy, mert akkor is assziszt. Hiszen
and if they're in a legal guarding position, let them do their job. You know, eliminate the cheap ones. Part of the issue, though, partner, is now so much of the game is played on an island, right? You don't have the crowds that you typically would see guys in back in our era. There's more space. The court, in that sense, is bigger. You're out there on your own, man.
Hát erről lemaradtam.
These guys are crafty at drawing fouls.
It's never been harder for a defender. Reggie Jackson's checked in for the Clippers. Trailblazers leading by 13.
Én hozom föl, és nem Damien.
Passes it to Junior.
Hoppá!
A player who's expected to be a bit of a project. They'll give him spots here and there early in the year, but he's shown well in the time he's had thus far.
And Greg Jr., a player they have high hopes for, just not early on. Talent is there certainly, but the opportunities to develop
Én hozom föl, nem a Lillard. Ott is van. Gyönyörű.
And the Trailblazers lead by 15.
Hogy befutott.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly and capitalizing.
Here's George.
Gyötörtük. Be is jött.
Norkic has got 9 rebounds now tonight.
I think
Ott
he's
jön.
got to settle down.
Bravo,
because
Collins.
Right
Ez
now
az.
it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter he has
Fú,
been
de
completely
kapják.
bothered.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish and transition nice and easy.
And the Clippers call time here. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
Boy, he's been relentless.
Megyek is a padra. Na, majdnem 20 ponttal vezetünk. Vezetünk, ez tök jó.
A different look for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Ibaka.
Na, akkor kell
Marcus
nekik egy
Morris comes in
utolsó.
for Nicholas Batum. And Georgia subbed in for Luke Kennard. Outside Jackson from downtown. Rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. On the floor for Portland. Anthony
Bizony.
out there with Nurkic. Then it's Junior. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Hood in at the 3 spot. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Clippers. George finds Morris. Back to George. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
How about the dribble drive ability of Paul George, the quick handles for a guy his size.
Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. To the inside.
Hello. A francba.
Down by the Clippers.
Boy, 9 times out of 10, that's going in. I'm sure he surprised himself with the miss.
It's stolen by Anthony.
Gyönyörű.
And there's the pass to Junior. And it's Anthony at the elbow.
Shoot.
Lillard from outside.
Ezt kellett volna
Offensive
mondjuk.
rebound.
De a Nurkic barátom ott van.
To the middle. Here's Junior. And the layup is good
És
after a nice
bizony
lead
George
pass.
alatt is
I
befért.
really admire the presence of mind from Rodney Hood. He's terrific at realizing when one of his teammates is wide open.
Down low. Here's Jackson. Whistle blows. Basket is good.
De miért kell
So a
odaütni?
chance here for a 3-point play.
Miért kell odaütni?
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
A different look for the Clippers. Kevin Gelly's checked in. And it's Patterson in for Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers.
Azt be kell dobni onnan.
Clippers trail by 20.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to
Mert
everyone
mekkora
who
lett volna
watched
egy
it. Just a total
10-10-es meccs.
mismatch and a true show of strength for Portland.
As
Szedjük.
one-sided as it gets today, you know,
Itt
there were some
vagyok.
dominant moments
Hello.
in about every facet of this
Faltal
game for that
együtt,
team.
ott is van.
Kevin,
10
it's hard to
10.
think of what
Steam
didn't
achievement,
go right
double
for
trouble.
them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And so they're
Bizony.
able to even up the season series at a game apiece with one left to play, exacting a little revenge and really saving face. They did not want to go down 2-0.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Junior.
What a selfless effort tonight. He's done such a
Okay.
great job finding guys in their appropriate spots.
Portland's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep.
Hé.
Pass to Giles.
Nem jó, úgyis jó.
Kicks to Junior. Shoots it up. But
Ó,
they get
bravo
it back.
Collins. Gyönyörű.
Passes to Giles. That one
Ott
goes
van a
in.
11.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
Inside, Collins. And it's
Hát
the
mondjuk, ha
Clippers
ezt
with the
bedobod,
rebound.
de nem baj.
Kennard with the ball.
Ne dobjál, hát.
Here's
És komolyan.
Mann. And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin.
Lead the game
To
in
come into
total
an opponent's
assists.
building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
3300 új rajongó.
Need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin
Gyönyörű.
Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Kihúzzuk a tímet a szarból. Na, ez jó volt. Egy dolog zavar. Mi dobálja a frémeket? Holott már múltkor visszavettük a grafit. Ugye elmegyek és megnézem, hogy megmaradt-e ez a beállítás. Valamiért az átvezetőknél laggol kicsit. És nem értem, hogy miért, mert... Aha, itt van a overall quality high-on. Szerintem a crowdot levesszük. Meg a media people-t mediumra, és akkor talán még jobb lesz. Többi nem tudom, hogy milyen hatással lenne, úgyhogy megnézzük így. És jöhet a Kings. Ugye a Kings 7-13-val áll, tehát szarabbul vannak. Mi meg ma bejutottunk a playoff helyre. Egyelőre a Pelicans-szel állunk párban.
I'm doing so well. So we're getting close to launch time, and you've released some details on your blog and social media. So tell us what's going on with NBA 2K22 that you can share with us.
Oh wow, there's so many things to share, Alexis, and the city got a big rework. On Gen 4, there's a cruise boat.
Big rework. Ismerős, nem, Feri?
Coverage of the NBA here on 2K Sports. A happy Sunday, and with pregame
big
routines
rework
coming
in
to an
every
end, we're
year.
just about ready for our tip-off.
Very
First, though,
big
let's get a
new
report from the
experience.
sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Hey, good evening, Kevin. The Kings are trying to snap their long playoff drought.
DA, the Sacramento fans
Na
would love to
nézzük.
see that as well. Thanks so much
Ja,
for that
itt
report.
is vannak ezek a
Let's
baromi
take a look at our
magas.
starters for Sacramento. Barnes
Ó,
and
most
Bagley,
a
the
small
duo with
forwardba
the forward.
kezdek, az azért kemény lesz.
Halliburton is out there with Fox, and it's Whiteside, and it's
Itt vannak ezek a baromi magas hátvéd gyerekek.
up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony is out there with Junior, and it's Nurkic in at the 5 down low. And the Trailblazers start out with the ball. In the backcourt matchup tonight, Brent, definitely high-powered at the point guard position in particular. Much more scoring expected than in decades past.
I think guys have the green light, Kevin, to fire away at the first available opportunity. The offense isn't taught the same way with orchestrators at the point guard position. Now guys are looking to be overly aggressive with their scoring prowess and to try to make plays sometimes feel secondary.
And so it's the Kings getting on the board first. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Szerintem hülyeség engem 3-asba játszatni a törpe termetemmel, de mindegy.
Up top, Fox, covered by Lillard. Fox, no good. And here's Portland. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Kings. That one was played in Sacramento.
Yeah, and they got beat last time.
Dühösen odafaltoltam.
Really, free throws were the story.
An outstanding defensive play to earn the mobile one block.
And early in a game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone.
Nagyon kaptam.
And here's Whiteside. He'll bring it up for Sacramento. Fox passes to Halliburton. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game.
Ez a fiú is.
Barnes, right side. Trailblazers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Well, Harrison Barnes, 225, has played some power forward. Greg, do you like him there or at his more natural small forward
És egyelőre működünk így
in
is.
today's game, Kevin, having the strength he does allows him to kind of hold his own. You know, you don't see a lot of four-men playing a lot of post-up in today's game. He's still got to be able to play in space, and I think creates matchup nightmares for the opponent.
Meg kellett próbálni.
Here's Halliburton. Here's Whiteside and terrific.
Hollywoodi passz, meg kell próbálni.
Well, Whiteside always around the rim, such an amazing offensive rebounder, and second chance opportunities is where he does a ton of damage.
Now here's Nurkic, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Here's Halliburton. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. And that makes it a tie ball game.
More and more improved floor awareness for De'Aaron Fox.
And Lillard kicks to Junior.
Be kell dobni. Úgy. Első vagyok asszisztban a rookie között. Az igen.
He dishes it to Fox.
Ez bedobja úgy is.
He's got a free throw coming up as well.
Na, kicsi pihike.
For the Trailblazers, Harry Giles is checked in for Collins. Junior comes in for Hood, and Damian Lillard subbed in for Anferny Simons. Sacramento also making some changes. Medu, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. James comes in for Glenn Robinson III. And Halliburton subbed in for Fox. And the
Offensive 3 second, nem áll.
McCollum's checked in. Then for the Kings, Marvin Bagley comes in for Bielitsa. And it's Barnes in for Heel. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Giles is out there with Enes Kanter, and it's Junior in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Portland. James.
Jó, hát ekkorát nem tudok ugrani, akkor se, ha nem segít senki.
1 for 1 with that shot.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
McCollum outside to the wing right side. Pass to Junior. Kanter trying to free himself up. Barnes against McCollum. Pass to Medu. Back to Barnes. Lock at 6. And they
Hát csak begyötört, nem?
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This
és látjátok milyen
needs
érvés.
to clog those lanes in the middle.
Aki nem akar befutni, miért itt mászkáltok? Akkor megoldjuk.
And here's Halliburton. He's got 6. The pass to James. And it's Bagley. And the assist goes to James. James has got 3 assists in the game.
Át lettünk verve.
Like to see him take it there, Marvin Bagley, confident play.
Down low, here's Giles. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
33 megáll.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Such a wide open look. Barnes has got 7.
Ja, ezt nem kértem volna, mondjuk.
From 13. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Well, he's a guy they count on to produce from the mid-range. He doesn't miss too many open looks from there.
Halliburton, that's good.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
13-4-es futásban a Kings.
No doubt, Greg, you were known being a gritty, in-your-face defender, and when you think of the most hard-nosed point guards in the NBA today,
így is dobja az átvezető a képkockát, nem tudom miért.
I think Chris Paul, I go first because this guy, one, he's a phenomenal two-way player. He'll do whatever it takes to win, even if that means pushing the envelope a little bit. Pat Beverly is another guy, just a flat-out bulldog. Marcus Smart, I think, falls into that category. Again, it's not always about being the most talented, but if you bring an edge about you, that really permeates throughout your team. So those are some guys. Drew Holiday is another guy I'd throw into that mix as well.
Yeah, they all lock in, you're right. Let's it go.
CJ be kell dobni.
And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Such a good player on the in-between game, weaving behind bodies to find some space, and CJ cashes in.
Now here's Whiteside.
Tényleg igyekszem.
14 points from him the last game against Chicago. Kicks to Fox. They get the
Ne dobálják el így.
Bagley, no good.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who can play at such a high level offensively.
Junior the pass to Lillard. Portland moving the ball around. Launches a three. And another three for Portland.
Getting more and more comfortable at finding the open men on this team.
The Kings have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento. And the Kings will go for a different look here.
Na hát, 5-tel mennek a félidőbe.
Providing a lot of energy for Sacramento. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display.
Thanks.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Eddig nem nagy segítségre vagyok, de...
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. It's been one outstanding game from the Air Fox.
Yeah, and through the first two quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for Sacramento. Barnes and Bagley, the duo with the forward. Fox is out there with Halliburton, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Big hands, long arms, huge frame of Whiteside. It just makes him a dominant shot blocker, a huge rim protector, and a very good rebounder.
Passes it to Junior. Pass to McCollum. Lets it go from deep. Trailblazers from deep.
And McCollum has done a lot to improve his impact on the defensive end. Very active with his hands and how he challenges shots.
Well, the blocks numbers last year jumped up a bit. That's kind of a nice indicator of what you're talking about, GA. And he just doesn't get tired. On the defensive end, like he's shown, it's going to help out the team.
And we just got a second look here at the exceptional mobile one block.
And those are plays that get you in front and keep you in front.
Lillard against Fox. Fires the three.
Szedjük már le.
Rebound by the Trailblazers.
Szóval Melo dobja. Nem jó.
One a little long. And it's Barnes with the ball for the Sacramento Kings, leading by 5.
You talk about things at halftime, and then you come out and you go 0 for 3. I'm sure that wasn't up on the board.
Nem már! Yusuf.
Well, those kind of shots should come with a warning label. Caution, Hassan Whiteside is around. He's simply one of the best shot blockers in the league.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Trailblazers. He kicks it to Junior.
CJ dobd.
McCollum against Barnes. 5 to shoot. With the teardrop, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Tyrese Halliburton.
A testament to the savvy of McCollum.
Jövünk föl. Ez az. Gyúrod a VL-t. Ez még ülök, elmegy a meccs.
Big group substitution here for Sacramento. Rashawn Holmes is checked in for Whiteside. Bielitsa comes in for Bagley. Robinson checked in for Harrison Barnes. And it's
9 pont.
for Halliburton.
Close to the rim and having an intent to score. That's an assertive play from Rodney Hood. I don't know if you push the panic button now, but that's the 4th personal. And he needs to stay aggressive out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward.
Ez butaság volt.
One of those hyper-athletic point guards, but still more slight of build than a Westbrook or in their primes.
11 pont oda, 4 falton van. Na, Yusuf, azt nem bírtad föltenni ott. Nem áll.
Yes, physically. And yes, mentally. And he's getting a ton of minutes in the early part of his career, and De'Aaron Fox is learning how to be a better leader. So the answer, does he need to get stronger? He is.
Ja, legalább a játék elismerte, hogy jó védekezt, nem?
Great option for them on these possessions.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Pass to Nurkic. Here's Trent to the inside. Holmes with the steal.
Ez nehezen fog ma összejönni így.
He's got 10.
És bedobja. 15 pont. 15 pont.
Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And as we head into the 4th, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Collins plays the 4 with Nurkic at the 5. Then it's Junior. Then it's Anthony. And it's Trent in at the 2 spot. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
Well, healed right there on the yield, waiting for someone to get open.
Trailblazers trail by 17. To the paint.
Na, mi volt? Nem már.
In the post. He's covered by Bielitsa. Greg, you were drafted 12th overall by the New York Knicks and then 2nd overall by the Grizzlies in the expansion draft. So you've had a very unique view of being in that position in 2 different settings.
Yeah, I mean, 2 very different cities, but really each beautiful in its own way. The New York draft, obviously coming out of college, that was like a dream come true to go and play for Pat Riley and then get the opportunity to go and be a part of a brand new team in a new country, if you will, was also a really cool experience.
Nála marad a center, gyerek. Tényleg?
Started by you and me to get the NBA back in Vancouver. I miss
and
going
Seattle,
to
right? Let's get back in both those cities.
Exactly. Anthony kicks to Lillard. The pass to Trent.
Ott van, dobd el. Ja, ez jelzi azt, hogy
effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Ennek ma nem sok értelme van.
Was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
The offensive rebound.
Milyen offenzív rebound? Semmilyen offenzív rebound nem volt.
And the rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Trent passes to Lillard. Junior with it. Holmes on him. And Lillard kicks to Junior. Anthony trying to get open.
Hát én próbálkozom, de...
This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
Here's Holmes. Makes it off the glass.
Borzasztó. Ezek a váltások.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Greg, we are in an era of positionless basketball, and we know the All-Star game now has a 2 backcourt, 3 front court position as opposed to 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center when you're voting. Should they get rid of those designations entirely?
I tell you what, I think you could make a strong case for that. You go back to last season, many felt Jimmy Butler got robbed of a starting spot. I think, listen, this is the fans' vote. Why not the 5 top vote getters? I don't care if they're 4 guards. If the 5 players that the fans want to see the most play a certain position, then so be it. You know, they're not going to play all 48 minutes. You're still going to have your 7 other spots to kind of balance out the roster. I say just let the fans tell you the 5 they want to see, and let's go play.
Out to the right wing. Here's Halliburton. Hits the front of the rim and out. Trailblazers trail by 21. Anthony. Good.
Oh, kösz Carmelo.
Pushing and shoving, grabbing and holding, not stopping Melo right there. Strong take to the
Minek
rack.
izmozunk még fönn a parkettán, 20 ponttal égünk. Az egész kezdő fönn van.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Nem megy onnan se.
Sacramento leading by 21.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Kings.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
És mindenképpen én dobáljam el. Hát,
win of the year.
And this will be their 3rd win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for De'Aaron Fox.
Well, those points he had tonight, all critical, all from energy and activity. He just never seemed to stop.
And here are the Trailblazers now to the left side wing. To the middle. Kicks it out to Lillard. McCollum outside. Here's Junior. The tray. C.J. McCollum. And that's good.
Just always appreciate the way that C.J. McCollum is such a natural scorer.
Well, this one is winding down now. Sacramento can run out the clock.
Get outside, get outside.
Now, here's Halliburton. Covered by Lillard. And here's Halliburton.
Okay.
And so it's Sacramento easily grabbing this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And that'll do it, folks. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you.
Okay. Itt vannak ilyen esték. De még egyszer megnézzük ezt a grafikát. Mondjuk vicc, hogy itt nem lett állítani, de mindegy. akkor javítanunk kell, de nem lesz egyszerű ez sem, mert a Lakers ellen játszunk, akik a másodikak. És úgy látszik, hogy óriási küzdelem lesz a 8. helyére.
Let's say two things, but number one, because this was one of our biggest pillars for gameplay this year, it's going to be defense. And I think that's going to be just perimeter defense, body ups on the floor, movement, and how the players feel just in on-ball defensive stances and on-ball defensive situations. But at the rim, especially, and contesting shots, all that stuff was reworked. We have an all-new block system.
Contesting shots. Jönnek a shot blockok.
Rip City, Portland, Oregon, the site for the Lakers. In a word, greetings everyone, you've got it live on Tuesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K. GA, it's all yours.
Kevin, thanks very much. In this era...
Much needed indeed, David, thank you. Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron and Davis.
Megint egy újabb felállás Carmelo 4-esben.
Caldwell Pope is out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's Harrell in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And for the Trailblazers, Damian Lillard out there with Junior, and it's Rodney Hood. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic, and it's Anthony in at the power forward. Greg, we're still involved in the conference system. Does it hold relevance as we're looking here at the standings mid-season?
You know, for travel distance, yes, and there's also some tradition at stake. I mean, look, that said, in a perfect world, you'd like to see the best 16 teams make the playoffs each year, but we've had, you know, imbalance in conferences forever, so that's not going to change. But sometimes change is just necessary.
How about quickly for the playoffs? Would you like to reseed and take the top 16s, 1 through 16?
LeBron James.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, first and foremost, he's a pass-first team player. It's Caldwell Pope. Love seeing that.
In the corner, it's Junior.
Hát ő nem dobok olyan jó, mint LeBron.
And so James will bring it up for Los Angeles. Here's Harrell, and Harrell.
És a haj király.
Boy, you're playing with fire anytime you leave somebody open on James' team. I mean, LeBron, his court vision, outstanding.
LeBron vezeti az asszisztistát a ligában. 10, valamennyivel, ahhoz képest nem rossz az ilyen.
And for someone at his age, that is something you have to know how to do. You can see when LeBron kicks it into that next gear. Can't keep it on all the time, but he's still able to take over when he needs to.
Még a fakezek Schröder kihagyta, de hát ott van még Anthony Davis is, természetesen.
From in that tight, hard to stop AD.
Lillard from outside.
Kezdém ilyen, ez az.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
James the bounce pass.
And with the leaping
Lemaradtam Caldwell Pope-ról.
He knows when to bounce to the rack and throw it down.
Lillard the pass to Hood. Back to Lillard. Hood finds Nurkic. Now Junior. 6 on the shot clock. That's tipped.
Block shots a real bonus, and Caldwell Pope does a nice job at
leromlott a formám.
And that's a terrific sequence at both ends there. There was the block shot, then the run out, and nice finish on the break.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Hood against Harrell. Hood can't get it to go.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Lillard against Schroeder. It's Davis on the
megterhelő ez a meccs, csak 3 pontot dobtunk, és kaptunk 12-t.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Well, I felt like they were never on the same page.
Hú, ez nagyon csúnya.
Ends up going with the new group. A big group substitution here for the Lakers. Here's James. 18 points separating the teams. That's the biggest lead of the game. We've got Damian Lillard,
18
Anthony
ponttal
out there with
vezettek már.
Nurkic. Then it's Rodney Hood, and it's Junior in at the 2. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. Hood
El kell
for
dobni.
3.
Gyönyörű.
Sinks the three-pointer. Hood's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
You have to love the unselfishness on display there. Excellent passing.
Schroeder against Lillard.
Jó.
And foul on the shot and shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Na már.
It's going to be on Yusuf Nurkic.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Good up top to the inside. Anthony. That shot is off. Kuzma with the defensive effort.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team.
Az emberem itt van a sarokban.
Advantage tells you all you need to know.
It's 3-on-3 on the fast break.
Na,
Here's
oldjuk
Lillard,
meg,
and
falt.
that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Lillard is really a force of nature. I mean, an incredible talent who torches
Ha
just
10
about
alá
everybody
hozzuk,
with
akkor
his
ez már jó
scoring
lesz.
If you go step in a time machine, what would you like and dislike about playing in this era at this time?
Well, no doubt about the tempo and the spacing. I think that more than anything allows for the true skill and artistry of the game to be on display.
Márciától.
I probably wouldn't want
Jött
to
valami
get
patch,
switched
ami
onto
elrontotta a
Embiid
játékot?
down low. that wouldn't. I would probably dislike that and let it be known vociferously.
But I always pictured you as being fearless, like you would never turn
Komolyan
down that kind of
belepattan a
challenge.
kezébe, hát nem
I
hiszem el
wouldn't turn
mekkora.
it down publicly.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. The NBA continues to build international academies to develop prospects from other countries. Already, academy graduates are playing Division I college basketball. And before long, NBA players should start emerging
Ez a
from
két
that
meccs az
pipeline.
rémes.
He continues to reach out to find overlooked youngsters who have a gift and give them the opportunity. Guys?
Outstanding, David. Thank you. Anthony dishes to Junior.
Jobb, de Damien. Isten álljon meg.
6 to shoot. Back to Lillard. And stolen by Kuzma. Under going all the way.
Well, you've got to be attentive around Kuzma. You can't be casual. He's excellent at gambling appropriately and coming away with steals.
And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. When
Oh,
Kuzma first entered the league, the Lakers were a rebuilding team. Now, Greg, he's one of the more experienced pieces on this team.
Megkapja és kiverik a kezéből.
Most of it, switching to a learning role, tries to absorb as much as he can from the vets, and he does everything he can to pick their brain and improve on those little things in terms of championship caliber basketball.
Now a timeout called.
Stabilan teljesít.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Yeah, you know.
...57-28.
So a pretty lopsided game to the first half. Los Angeles on top, just dominating
Egy
this one.
fél idő alatt, de jó ég.
David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with head coach Frank Vogel.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
Biztos fikáznak már Twitteren.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope really making a difference here.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
You know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and
Kezdjük a
ready to go for the
bányászást.
second half of basketball. So the Lakers 5 right now. LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and it's Harrell in at the 5 roaming the paint.
You know, really impossible to know what James is thinking in advance. I mean, especially in these sets.
To the right side.
Szóval azt akarom mondani, hogy
Now here's Junior. He's guarded by Caldwell-Pope. Junior, no good. And it's the Lakers the other way.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant. Outstanding distribution there. I mean, what impressive passing ability.
Hood kicks to Junior. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Harrell against Nurkic. Here's Junior. Nurkic trying to get open, and it's Junior missing.
Fuck.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
Schroeder outside. He dishes it to Harrell. Here's Caldwell-Pope, and he dunks it down.
Yeah, and once he gets the switch turned on, Caldwell-Pope is not going to be slowed down. He can heat up quickly.
Outside Hood. Pass to Lillard. Shoots the 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Lillard's got 6 points in the quarter.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
That one falls.
Ez tényleg megszivat engem. Erre sokkal jobban kell figyelnem.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
And with his skill, Nurkic can score from anywhere on the court. But when you're 280, his skills probably better utilized inside.
Davis kicks to Caldwell-Pope. It's in there. Davis with the assist. Davis has got his 4th assist.
Teljes homályban vagyok.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
The drive by Nurkic. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Nurkic has got his 2nd bucket. It's Davis on the wing. Covered by Anthony. And Harrell slams it in.
Good court awareness that time from Anthony Davis, seeing the floor and making the right decision.
Trailblazers have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the 3rd. And a wide open look for Junior. No good with the triple.
This is definitely a day he'd like to forget. He just hasn't had the energy or the intensity to get it done out there. He's still scoreless.
And that one's good by Davis.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
It's stolen by Schroeder.
Hát most persze jobb lett volna, ha odaadja inkább.
Los Angeles, and the dunk by LeBron.
You know, it would be fun to tabulate how many of LeBron's career points have come on the break. I would just venture to guess he's had a bunch of them.
Nurkic against Harrell. Nurkic the pass to Junior. Anthony trying to get open.
He's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And the dunk by James.
LeBron James knows the meaning of the word layup, but he's much more interested in throwing it down when he can.
Lillard dishes to Junior. Back to Lillard. Pass to Junior. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. For Portland, they have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them. Free throw good, Junior. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Cantor checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Collins comes in for Anthony. Robert Covington checked in for Rodney Hood, and McCollum subbed in for Lillard. The Lakers also changing it up. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for James, and it's Alex Caruso in for Dennis Schroeder.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Offensive rebound. Collins trying to break free. That one good for 2. Cantor's got his first points in this one. And Caruso's got the ball here for the Los Angeles Lakers. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And he gets the bucket.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting
Hát ezt én
up
sem
any
tudom,
resistance.
mi történik védekezésileg.
One of my college coaches, he used to say, that ain't gonna get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
There's the pass to Cantor.
Dob
For
be.
3, Covington. No good that time. The 3 quarters of play.
Borzalmas.
And this one all but over already. Lakers on top, opening up a huge gap. From Portland, we're back in a moment. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant read of the defense. I mean, it was also...
Remélem most már kiülöm ezt az égést. Ha égés van, akkor égenek a cserék a végén.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily.
119-et dobtak egy 4x5 perces meccsen.
Fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports.
Hú, de rossz volt ez. Aha, na, és akkor ugye közben a óra cég is a szponzorom lett. Úgyhogy el kell mennem a járandóságért, amit nagy nehezen múltkor megtaláltam. Na és itt vannak a All-Star szavazás eredményei. Hát tőlünk ugye Lillard került be. Ó, most valami mezes dolog is lesz. Oké. Összemegyek a nejborhodba és felveszem a pénzt. Mert ha betölti a neighborhoodot. Itt volt valahogy múltkor. Be a kis utcába. Azt hiszem, ha jól emlékszem. Várj, nem itt. Ott. Itt a Gatorade-es cucc mellett van az ügynökség, vagy mi a fene. Oké, jött is 1000 dodó. Jön az OKC, 10-12-vel állnak, mi 10-14-je, ez egy nagyon fontos cucc. Aha, és akkor lehet választani. Melyik mezbe nyomjuk? Mindenképp ebbe.
To work with this year.
What is Mike Wang most excited about with 2K22 gameplay?
Yeah, and that's, you know, I think just what I alluded to is just the game feels way more balanced, and it makes more sense just in terms of how we're rewarding players if they are
More
doing the right
balanced
thing on the
gameplay.
court. I know it sounds really general.
And just about to get underway as the starting fives have been
Itt
announced.
vagyok-e? Hello.
Sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on Hey Dave.
Kevin, thanks. With the new G League
Nagyon
Pathway
fontos.
DA, thanks a lot. Tonight, Greg, two teams with a lot of history that know each other very, very well.
And sometimes familiarity breeds contempt.
Yeah.
And that goes for the players, coaches, and fans. This one might get heated.
I'm sure you felt that way many times when you play.
Almost every time I took the floor.
Good.
You literally want...
Várj, azt nem néztem meg, azt akartam megnézni, hogy... hol van a Williams? Nincs is a keretbe. Lehet, hogy elcseréltük már. Vagy sérült. Azt kell nézni.
Dislike your opponent.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. George Hill out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then it's Mike Muscala. And it's Baisley in at the 4 spot. And for the Trailblazers, the high-powered
Ez jobban
backcourt pair,
kezdődik.
Lillard and McCollum. Anthony is out there with Ennis Cantor. And it's Junior in at the small forward. And Gilgeous-Alexander, here we go.
And even if Gilgeous-Alexander isn't the fastest guy out there, he stays in balance. It helps him to be effective on his drive.
Most már McCallum irányít.
Lillard outside.
Teljesen nem tudja a coach bácsi, hogy mi van.
Pass to McCollum.
Szép, szép.
Good job in the low post.
This guy's just a gamer. McCollum, I mean, he really embraces taking on the defense and finding a way to finish.
And McCollum on the floor, all business. Off the court, he's a very outspoken player, very colorful guy. And Greg, you were saying you see a future in media for him.
Okay, see.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, McCollum spoke up quickly about the seriousness of the virus when they were playing. He's very knowledgeable and shares what's on his mind. A media position after he's done playing is a very real possibility if he chooses to.
Gilgeous-Alexander against McCollum. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Carmelo odavert.
Good job to take it right at the...
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And on the season, you know, only shooting around 73%, so not necessarily where he'd like to be.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. McCollum left side.
Az bizony assziszt, úgy.
McCollum's got 5 points so far.
With the quick, accurate release, McCollum thrives on catch and shoot opportunities.
Hill passes to Gilgeous-Alexander.
Nem maradtok ott a centerrel.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Counter csináld meg!
Kicks it out to Lillard. It's McCollum on the wing. He's got 5. Junior the pass to Lillard. Just 5 on the clock. Cantor trying to free himself up. Here's McCollum.
Megvan a
And
támadó.
good off the glass. McCollum's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
He plays with so much heart, McCollum. I mean, he is constantly battling on the court. This time, it's on the glass.
And the basket by Hill.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Pass to Junior. Trailblazers moving the ball around.
Mi van? Ne, jump ball.
The official signals a jump ball here. So it's the Thunder now. Thunder trailing by 3.
Gondoltam volna, mi lett az eredménye.
Here's Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Sinks that one from the post. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his second basket of the game.
Largely because of that length.
Gyakorlatilag ez egy jó játékosuk van, de...
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
Every timeout a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
Hát sikerült elengedni őket 6-tal.
Lillard against Hill. Pass to Junior. Nurkic with it. Lillard dishes to Junior. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one.
Dobtam 3-ast utoljára.
And so Hill bring it up for the Thunder. They lead by 6, their biggest margin. They'll be off next to Utah for a meeting with the Jazz. That'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road. Taking a look at the Thunder, we've got Williams, George Hill out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Bazley in at the pivot spot manning the middle. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Lakers, was not happy with how he played. He added a few points, and he did a good job to dish out a few assists to his teammates as well.
Ez egy srác van, és nem bírjuk megfogni.
Very poor percentage from the field. It'll be curious to see how he responds tonight, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great job. And you know, even the best players have weak games, guys. And I think we saw that pretty clearly.
Yeah, and the question now becomes, you know, can you bounce back? Will he be able to put that game behind him?
Well, it won't be easy. I mean, as much as you try to just move on, those tend to stick with you for a while. He needs to have a strong game tonight to get out of the rut.
Now the pass to Bazley. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers in possession.
That's just a needless gift.
Kiűztük őket.
Gotta make the defense work for their turnovers.
A different look now for Portland. Cantor checked in for Nurkic, and Carmelo Anthony is subbed in for Harry Giles. Muscala, he's checked in for Oklahoma City.
And Yusuf Nurkic, missing a whole calendar year not too long ago, was still involved with the team during that stretch and was a fixture.
Nagyon fontos, Carmelo, nagyon fontos. Majd engem állítatok oda a lepóért, hát...
He would use clothing to call out other players, teams, and commentators. Nurkic doesn't mince words, and I'm glad he's back and playing.
Ez az.
Shot by Bazley, no good. And now Portland on the break. Shoots from 12.
Úgyis jó, Roborodni húz.
The lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Hood.
One of Hood's go-to shots. I mean, so smooth and comfortable firing from these in-between spots.
Kanter, mi a tökömet csinál itt kint?
Here's Bazley. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Oh, that's not the kind of interior defense you want. Way too slow to protect the rim.
Inside, here's Cantor. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Pedig de szép volt.
The 2 words you and I don't like the most in this game, load management. Why do we see more of it now than when you played in the game?
A couple of things. I think sports science has evolved, and I've talked to a ton of coaches about this. The reality is that now they don't determine whether or not a guy's going to play. It's going to be the people that work with the strength and conditioning. They determine if a guy is ready to go. Secondly, I would also say the contracts now, the investments that teams have in these assets, you want to try to prolong your career as long as possible.
És
ott hagyjuk 5 ponttal, vagy 3-mal, 12 fél idő. Hát csodás. Nem túl happy a közönség, nem véletlenül.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. The Thunder
Na
leading
gyere
by
Dort
12.
fiam, gyere.
Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony out there.
Meg az, hogy engem ott védekeztet a 3-as poszton.
So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half with.
Az is elcseszi, igen.
To Dort. Muscala up top. And that one hits back iron.
Oh, the defense with no impact at all. Just didn't have the feel for his jump shot.
Count it, good. Junior's got the first basket of the third quarter for Portland.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
Poked away and stolen by Junior. Good on the shot, and that shaved the lead to single digits. Junior's got 4 this quarter.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
Yeah, and defensively, you'd like to see a greater effort to change ends.
To the paint. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Anthony.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Lillard comes with the double team, and here's Hill for 3, and a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one
Amikor
goes in.
elhinnénk.
Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 assists in the game. They double team McCollum. Junior kicks to Lillard. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Lillard's got his first 3 points of the game. Gilgeous-Alexander against McCollum. Gilgeous-Alexander good. And the Thunder lead by 8.
CJ.
Him today, and it has paid off in a big
Itten levédekezni.
Lillard the pass to Junior. Now here's Anthony. From 18 feet away. And it's Junior missing.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Taken away by Anthony. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. And McCollum the bucket on the assist by Anthony. McCollum's got 18 points in the game.
He can score in a number of ways. I mean, he can burn you. He's an offensive powerhouse. Inside, outside, off the screen, off the curl, the pop back, the layup, the dunk, the 3. You name it.
Hill, no good. Trailblazers trail by 6. Here's Junior. And down the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws.
No
question, he got bumped on that shot.
No good on the free throw.
Mi ment mellé? Hát
Norkic checked in for Enes Kanter. Harry Giles comes in for Anthony. Rodney Hood subbed in for C.J. McCollum. And then for Oklahoma City, Williams, he's checked in for Muscala. Diallo comes in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Maladon subbed in for George Hill.
próbáljuk meg levédekezni a kisebb csávót.
Pass to Dort. 5 on the clock. There's the 3. It's
De nem ám. Itt vagyok, bro. Úgy. Get an assist to every starter on the team.
Now here's Maladon. Not a lot of room. Down low, Baisley. The rebound by Giles.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against them. That's just great work inside.
Junior missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Pass to Baisley. This one for 3. Portland grabs the miss. The Blazers on offense. They're on a 5 run.
Úgy. Gyönyörű.
And he banks in the layup. Now just a 1-point Thunder lead.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Outside Williams. 59 seconds left in the third. Here's Diallo.
De miért?
By Diallo.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Passes it to Lillard. Hood kicks to Lillard.
Csináljátok meg, gyönyörű, gyönyörű, gyönyörű.
Giles has got 4 points this quarter.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Aladon passes to Baisley.
Ott hagytam.
Drills it from outside. Dort's got his first bucket of the game and he's on the board for 3.
Mekkora butaság volt, basszus.
Don't give him a clean look. Get out there on him.
Lillard with it. Williams picks him up. The shot and game clock separated by 4. To the paint. Here's Junior, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And that's now 11 points for Junior.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
És ezt is megcsinálja.
And the Thunder lead by 4.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, and you know what's going to happen, there are going to be points put on the board.
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Thunder lead by 4. And we've got more NBA action. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
This is where the NBA
Jó, de hát lemaradtam róla, szóval nem volt egy nagy assziszt. Kettőn vagyunk. Most már 5-ön megint. Elvan, csak Lirád ilyen 3 pontokat dobál, könyörgöm.
Shoots from the line. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. 25 points for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Greg, how special was it for you that you had your number 50 retired at UNLV?
You know, that's something that I can honestly say, as a kid, you dream about a lot of things. Winning, you know, playing at the highest levels. That's something I never really fathomed, is to have your jersey hanging up in an arena. That was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special.
Exactly, born and raised.
Nem is bántottam, és komolyan sportszertlen kaptam ezért.
Then it's Williams, and it's
Menjem a
Dort in
pöcsbe.
the small forward position. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. Tries again, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It goes on C.J. McCollum.
And this young man, a
Saj
rising
szétalált bennünket ma.
to improve. Gilgeous-Alexander may soon be the focal point
26
of
pontot
every
dob.
opponent's scouting report.
And so it's McCollum with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. They trail by 11. Pass to Cantor. He feeds it to Junior. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. He hits the first one, and that brings them to within 10. Chris, we've seen in the three-point contest, they've added a pair of deep shots worth extra points. You know, if the league decided for the All-Star game to test out a 4-point line, what would you think of that?
I'm not sure about the 4-point line yet. I think we'll always have time for that, but I don't think it's a need to rush for that. I think that until everyone can shoot like Curry or most guys can shoot like that, let's just not change it because 1 or 2 guys can. When you look at offensive efficiency,
Hát ezt nem hiszem, mert 2 zöld, és az elsőt leütjük, és a másik sincs meg.
With the line where it is. I love the NBA welcoming innovation, but this is something that I think we're jumping ahead of the times.
Here's Junior, and a little luck that time, but it drops.
Én nyomom.
55 seconds left in the game. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Hill left side, uncovered, and Cantor pulls it down. And here are the Trailblazers. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
And what a smooth release on that shot. Melo is money in the bank from there.
Pass to Dort. 27 seconds left to play in the final quarter. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
I think it's safe to call this one a wrap.
Yeah, the game got away from them.
Hát, saját statkó javításra jó ez a meccs, de másra nem igen.
Leonard is known for being a clutch shooter. He's the guy they go to. He's the guy they believe in.
It's the first that increases their lead to 6. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
Good league. It's even better with excellent work at the stripe.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They're trailing by 7. There's 14 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And I don't think they'll be able to climb out of this hole.
I'm really curious to see what their strategy is at this point. You can't afford any wasted possessions.
And now let's present our... So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building.
Hiába gyűjtek a számok.
But they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
Ez így most egyáltalán nem vigasztaló. William sérült. Ó, jobb tér 4-6. Aha, akkor ez az oka. Egyébként az a vicc, hogy néztem, hogy egy saját csapatomról nem tudom lekérni trade-et. Tehát, hogy mi a fene történik. Ezt nem tudom lekérni, ami mondjuk vicces, mert mondjuk legalább a saját csapatom eseményei jók lennének, de mindegy is. Szóval New York. Hát ez a piros eddig nem hozott szerencsét, úgyhogy... itt még van egy csomó. Hát akkor kezdjük a fehér Blazers-szel.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Seasons?
Yeah, so Seasons is going to be, we've had it in the past with my team. And the goal that Eric Benish wanted this year was to really extend the seasons across the entire game. So I'll speak to gameplay because that's my area. What we're doing with Seasons is we're going to try and release content throughout the entire year. So, on day one, we've usually just thrown all the animations at you, all the signature moves and shots and everything. But we're going to try and roll that out across the year just to kind of change the meta up a little bit, give people something to look forward to. And it's really going to, I think, just prolong the life.
And getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. And coming to you today from Portland, Oregon, on the banks of the beautiful Willamette River. Welcome, everyone, and what a game we have for you tonight as we get set to bring you NBA action on 2K Sports. With Hall of Fame, DA, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Well, among the...
Thanks, David. And this should be a fun one because of the pace these two teams play outdoors. It's all about up-tempo basketball.
Kev, I'll be surprised if the shot clock gets below 10 even once tonight. That's how fast both of these teams play. And consider this. In the NBA, across the entire 30 teams, your best field goal percentage always comes in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock. This should be tremendous.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Barrett and Randall are in the forward positions. Austin Rivers is out there with Rose. And it's Robinson in at the 5, down low. For the Trailblazers. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Junior's out there with Anthony. And it's Nurkic in at the 5 spot. Rose against Lillard. Knocked knocks it loose and stolen by Junior. Over Rose.
Are you sure?
Nice spin off the left rim and in. Lillard's got his second bucket of the night.
And that was not an opportunity Lillard was going to let pass by. Getting down the floor in an instant and finishing on the break.
Rose finds Barrett. And stolen by Junior. And now Portland on the break. Anthony leading the charge. From down in the low post, it goes.
That's a great beginning. 3 for 3 from the floor.
Jó védekezésre nyitok.
They'll bring it up for New York. It's a 5-point game. Robinson passes to Rose. Back to Robinson.
Csoppa szomály volt.
And they call the foul, so he's got one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Szomály volt.
Well, you love to see Julius Randle attack the offensive glass, get to his second chance opportunities. That's really well done.
And a physical presence is former Kentucky Wildcat Julius Randle. But he's got some mobility to go along with it, able to move and attack in transition.
Junior kicks to Lillard. Three-pointer. And another three for Portland.
Boy, they came ready to play.
Game time. Föl kell ébredni, mert ő 3 pontokat dobál, akkor semmi nem lesz.
20 points for him last game against Indiana. Pass to Barrett. A 3-ball. They grab their own miss. Here's Randle, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Portland called for the foul.
Well, Julius Randle has made it clear he has big aspirations as a player. And what you love is he's going to invest the time to make his game all that much more dangerous.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Trailblazers. You know, people have talked about Julius Randle's game.
Ott van. Bravo, Enes. Ez
and the guy just bulldozes all the way in.
I like that phrase, Kev. You know, very fluid for his size. A pretty good ball handler and passer. I think his shooting is where he's still filling in the gaps.
A nice shot by Rivers.
Well, you love to see Austin Rivers attack. This guy has the frame and the game to make the dribble drive.
Lillard bounce pass. From outside the arc.
Another
3 for Portland.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
Lillard against Rose. And good that time.
Hát igen.
Now, we've seen this a time or two. Derrick Rose in the mid-range doing
Tudás.
work.
McCollum outside. Back to Lillard. Now, here's Junior. He's guarded by Rivers. Tries again. And Nurkic finishes inside.
And this is where Nurkic gets a lot of his points. Staying active even after the shot goes up.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Portland.
Should be an interesting game as these teams don't see a lot of each other being from...
Na nézzük a cseréket. Jó. Mindig egész jó.
Ends up going with the new group. Portland shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
És védhetem a királyt.
And the free throw, no good. Knicks trail by 10. They've got Junior. Giles is out there with Anthony. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic, and it's McCollum in at the shooting guard. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
Julius Randle can do a little bit of everything. That's a great find to get his teammate an open look.
And the pass to Giles. McCollum outside, inside.
Fouled
in the act of shooting, gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Some guys just relish the challenge. Find a way, and he does.
Greg, who are your favorite players to watch in the NBA?
Boy, that's a tough one. You know, you gotta like the guys that have changed the game in some regards, right? Steph, KD, and Giannis. Those are 3 guys that are just doing things that don't seem normal.
True.
Then others who remind you of past greatness. You know, Jason Tatum with Kobe, or maybe an Anthony Davis with the team. And
Those are guys that I love, and then the other guy, listen, LeBron James. I could watch him play basketball every day. You know, to do what he's done at this stage of his career, I just think it's incredible, and I think our game is in great shape.
Agree on all counts.
Bepörgettük Derrickkel a meccset.
David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Thunder, put on a show. He finished with 17 points, and his ability to keep getting back to the foul line helped their cause tremendously. A surprise attack from a guy who's typically viewed as a role player. See if he can continue to play a larger role in tonight's game.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
One of the things I like about this guy, he's able to up the intensity whenever needed, and players really feed off his energy.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over, so you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And RJ Barrett setting records in the ACC for scoring.
És komolyan nem tudtok egyszerűbben föltenni?
His offensive package.
Well, Greg, for me, this guy is wired to score. He can dribble it, he can shoot it, and he can pass it, and I think he's at his absolute best when he's attacking the rim.
Lillard's checked in for Giles. Outside Robinson. Back to Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Randall with the bucket.
Emelt föl a kezed. Nem igaz.
Excellent IQ.
Junior the pass to Lillard. And here's McCollum for 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. McCollum's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Rivers kicks to Randall. Anthony with the block.
Melo just reading the play the right way, putting the extra effort to come up with such a nice block.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Anthony. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Anthony's got 12.
I'll tell you, the team is simply riding the hot hand. This guy has been lights out.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Defeated by the Pacers in the last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, I mean, hard time shooting the rock in that one.
Milyen izé van a nyakán a Derricknek.
Give themselves the best looks.
I think even when you get quality looks, there was an inability to stay consistent. It is hard to...
Na, tök jó, leültem. 11 pontból 1. Negyed végére fantasztikus.
Portland out in front. They lead.
Carmelo, you got some...
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action.
Komolyan, 1 perc 10 volt hátra. Egy perc 10 volt hátra. Bakker.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. We're seeing a tremendous game from Julius Randle.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
And New York, looking at who they've got, it's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Rose is out there with Austin Rivers, and it's Barrett at the small forward position. And I'm glad we got to see the mobile one block once more. What a play.
And read the play perfectly. Gets himself in the air at the right moment.
Engedj már át.
Rose passes to Rivers. The kick out to Rose. To get open is Robinson. For the lead.
Ezt nem hiszem el. Hát hányadik pattanót szedi le? Nem igaz.
A terrific start here in the second half. 4 attempts, nothing to show for it.
The assist totals
Nem igaz már.
Continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
About 1 minute played here in the second half. On its way from Rose for two. They get it again. Robinson, that's good.
És én maradtam egyedül a lepattanóra. Hát ezt nem hiszem el.
Lillard, the pass to Junior. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Gregor, the all-time assist leader for the Big West Conference. In that frame, talk about some of the traits that make for a good floor general, a good point guard, a good facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have to be a leader because that's what the position calls for. Unselfishness, instincts, that stuff matters. But ultimately, your teammates got to feel like you play for them. And that's when you have a chance as a team to be special.
I'm assuming you've always been like that. Am I correct?
No, that is not really true. Wow. I evolved into a leader.
Muszáj valamit csinálni most már, mert...
I think some guys are natural, others like myself had to evolve into it.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Yep, that one goes in there. Rose has got 8 points.
Lillard meg nem mozdulja ám Rose-zal.
Right? Derrick Rose in pick and roll situations has such a good feel for the right decision.
And as he gets older, we've seen Derrick Rose coming out of his shell a bit more. Early in his career, he was wary of strangers.
And growing up, Derrick Rose protected by his family from the dangers of Chicago. Then, Greg, after starring at the University of Memphis, he was drafted by his hometown Bulls.
Anointed a savior from day one. And you talk about a life under the microscope. Sports writers picking him apart, rabid fans wanting a piece. In a lot of ways, it's probably better for him not playing in Chicago.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Hood's checked in. Out of handout. McCollum feeling it out a bit. That one goes. Count it. He's got 13.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
And he finishes it off with a one-handed
Ne segítsetek, semmit ne segítsetek.
They need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
Boy, and not just the aggression, the ability to get to the rim, but how about the finish with intention?
Na, Yusuf, tedd vissza, ügyes.
And the Trailblazers lead by 5.
And such a polished player near the basket. Nurkic feels comfortable taking those in-close shots.
Quickly, laid in with a nice touch off the glass. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
It's tough to hide your communications. Teams go to great lengths to try to do it, but sometimes to no avail.
So it's both teams.
Na most nézzük a helyettesek mit csinálnak. Természetesen 1 pont már csak. Na, de legalább előnyt hagytak. Az 5 pontot. Hoppá.
Randall down low. Anthony on him. Randall passes to Burks. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
Milyen kis gyors fiú.
Remarkable watching Alec Burks power through the defense.
Junior's out there with Damian Lillard. Then it's Enes Kanter. Then
it's
Anthony. And it's Trent in at the 3. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers.
Most lehetek, legalább én tehetek azért, hogy följöttek egyre. Hát itt minden van.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
Ez az.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Helyrehoztam.
Pass to Burks. Rose with the ball. Randall outside.
Ezt nem hiszem el, és befújja a Carmelónak. Panyeg!
Julius Randle is never going to back away from a defensive player. He knows he's got the strength to play through contact. Nice job drawing the foul.
Yeah, being down 2 points instead of one.
Ott megy, így. És kihagyja! És kihagyja, hát nem hiszem el.
Shot by Burks, nobody around, and he hits it to tie the game up.
RJ Barrett with excellent vision, and it's not just the vision, it's the ability to put it on time and on target. Nicely done.
To the middle, here's Nurkic, and finished off by Nurkic.
And the swag Nurkic plays with, it's infectious. He doesn't back down from taking a big shot.
Ahogy szkórolja a padunk a miénket, ami nem meglepő.
Lillard comes with the double team. Up top, Randle, covered by Anthony.
Hopp.
And McCollum with the block.
Hopp, gyönyörű. Vigyük végig.
Lillard against Rose. And that one's good, Lillard. And it's a 4-point Trailblazer lead.
Proof positive that Lillard is worthy. That's talent you can build a franchise around.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They trail by 4. There's 1:54 left to play here in the fourth. And now, a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game,
Carmelo.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made every.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. He said, look, you guys are playing physical, and I like that, but it has to be under control. We've committed way too many fouls. We've allowed way too many foul shots. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David.
Such a clutch shooter. This guy lives for these kinds of moments and delivers.
Lillard against Rose. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Nurkic. And that one's good, Junior.
17. pontom, és 5 pont az előny.
Finds the open man and the ball instantly there for the finish.
And Rose, wide open, he shoots. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
If you want to cut into a lead, you have got to trust your teammates and move the ball.
Some power coming from the PG.
That's right, GA. Seeing more and more of that these days. Backcourt guys who can elevate.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
Randle finds Rose. Over Anthony. That one wide left.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
And it goes out of
Meg
bounds.
lesz.
Last touch by Barrett. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
And he hasn't forced much tonight. I love the efficiency he's giving to them.
Rose, good.
I'll tell you, defensively, this is a tough task. You can play Rose to try and take it to the rack, and then he pulls it up on you. In the in-between game, what are you going to do?
Lillard surveying the D. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And it's Junior missing.
Hülyeség volt, de...
Good on the first, and that trims the lead to 6.
De kihúztuk.
And so it's Portland winning this one. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out
6000 új rajongóm gyűlt.
This group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans
már van rólam is fej.
For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.
Csodás ez a fej. Oké. És akkor bizony jön a Denver. Akik elég jól állnak. Még volt ebben fehérbe nyomtuk most, ugye? Ha jól emlékszem. Most akkor nyomjuk a feketébe.
Mike, I know that a lot of players love making the dominant archetypes of NBA 2K, and NBA 2K21, it seemed like it was the power forward. So Mike, what do you think the dominant archetype will be for NBA 2K22?
That's a good question, because that's something that we're always trying to balance and tune, because we don't really want there to be one dominant archetype, right? So the power forward thing is fixed, and
the power forward thing is fixed.
The beautiful skyline of Denver, Colorado is our backdrop tonight. Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlow with Greg Anthony. Brett, DA, it's all yours.
Kevin, thanks very much. Nikola Jokic love.
Sure is. Thanks, DA. Shaq, back in the day, you drew double teams. You made the defense pay by setting up your teammates with terrific passing. Which bigs now do you see following in your footsteps, in those footsteps?
You know, my Ben Simmons, former LSU guy, when he gets aggressive in the paint, they double. He definitely looks for his players. Listen, LeBron James is the best passer among non-guards. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel
Jokic már be is
kezdni. You got to
kezdni.
use the others if you want to get to that next level.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony out there with Junior, and it's Nurkic in at the center. And for Denver, Millsap and Jokic, the big men. The backcourt is Murray and Harris, and it's Porter in at small forward. Pass to Jokic. Back to Murray. Now the pass to Jokic. Great D that time from Nurkic. Of course, you know as well as anyone, Shaq, mental toughness is a gigantic asset in this league. You look at today's
Carmelo,
players,
gyakorlatilag a
and
kezedbe
there are
esett
some
a
that appear to
lepattanó
be
bakker.
unfazed by pressure.
I call this the frown and the smile. It's one guy that smiles a lot when you try to pressure him. That's Luka Doncic. He'll hit you with a move, shoot the jumper in your face, hit you with a smile. Then there's the frown. Kawhi Leonard could do the same thing, but he'll hit a big shot, and he won't give you no expression. The frown and the smile, Kevin. The frown and the smile. Reminds me of Ernie
Okay.
Kelly up there.
Na majd rájön a coach bácsi.
Porter is used to having to power through contact.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Verekedhetek én itt a small forwardokkal, de...
81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
Looking at the Trailblazers, they took the last win in their last game against the New York Knicks. And Lillard kicks to McCollum. Passes it to Junior. To the inside.
Barátommal, Yusuffal.
First ballot Hall of Famer. What's it been like joining that incredible group, that historic company?
Well, I just say I'm both proud and humbled, and it's something I couldn't have imagined growing up. And I can remember my first taste of confidence was a guy named Kevin Harlan. I was in Kansas City at the McDonald's All-American game. Nobody really knew who the kid from Texas was. I said, I got to make a name for myself. I took it coast to coast and threw it down. And then I looked at you and you were going crazy. I didn't know what you were saying, but then when I got home, my dad had recorded on VHS in that lovely voice. Shaquille O'Neal, take it. I was like, man, I love that voice. And here we are again. I don't know how many years that is.
Shaq nagyon komolyan nyomja közben.
I'm here because of you. Thank you.
I remember it. Galloping O'Neal down the court.
Yes.
Back to Lillard. Here's the three.
Be kell dobni. Nagyon jó.
And we know it. We've seen it. Lillard's range extends well beyond the three-point line. Hard to keep a hand in his face from that far out.
Murray against Nurkic.
Szedjük le.
No good. And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Trailblazers.
Ott kell. Lent. Gyönyörű. Na. Bekezdtünk.
Commissioner Adam Silver has talked about basketball and sports really in general as a unifying force, and Shaq, it definitely does bring us together.
You know, the NBA is a melting pot. It's not about where you're from or what language you speak. It's all about teamwork, discipline, and respect. And I've always said there's two things, despite what you have going on in the world, especially stress, two things that'll shut all that down: music and sports.
They always do it. But isn't it great to be associated with the league that is on the forefront of those kinds of things?
I don't know about that, but it's great to be associated with you and Greg.
And
how nice is that? Yeah.
I mean,
I've been waiting to come down here for years.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Megszivattuk a
If you walked
Jokert.
in at any point during this game to watch 5 minutes of play, one team played harder. We know who that was.
Ez a másodikom a francban.
That'll be his second foul.
Pedig egész jól ment addig a meccs.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor.
Na,
And Shaq,
egyelőre
we
tartják a
talked
fiúk.
about free throw shooting. For some guys, it's always going to be an issue. What have the new intentional fouling rules done to make the game better?
I think it cuts down on the endless fouling. I think the new rules also make the game go faster. You know, this game was meant to be entertaining and go fast. You don't want to spend 4 or 5 minutes, which turn into 30 minutes by just fouling the guys.
Ez a srác is meg. Most komolyan Millsap-e? A Millsap over forward, gyerekek.
Well, it does give it a better pace, you're right. The backcourt is Murray and Harris. Millsap and Jokic, the big men. And it's Porter in at the 3. That's the group on the floor for Denver. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Knicks, was on a mission. He had 19 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. It was a great performance. Talking to his teammates, they all hope it's a sign of bigger things to come. We'll see how he progresses tonight, Kevin.
David, we appreciate the update. Greg, we'll see if he can keep rolling here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the rub. When he's in rhythm, he can carry your team across the line.
And you want to see him make sure that the teammates are also involved in what they're doing, especially if he draws that much attention.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be firmly in the driver's seat. And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Right side, Millsap. Jokic trying to free himself up.
Carmelo.
Millsap, that's good on the assist by Murray.
I like Millsap's touch around the basket. He can finish in many different ways.
To the paint. And it's Anthony with the jam.
And for a power forward, he can get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage.
Pass to Jokic. To the middle. Here's Harris. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
See, as a big man, when you play unselfishly, you're harder to stop. That's why you run the offense through Jokic.
Junior, the pass to Anthony. Inside.
Szíveség volt.
To have you with us. Great to hear your observation as always. I hope you join us again.
I will. Happy to give them anytime. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much.
Man, they really are chomping at the bit to get you back up there.
Hülye hosszú kezű.
Nope, I'd rather be here with you guys.
Good. We want you here too. You know, Greg, there are good players, and there are great players, and there are superstars. And then there's Shaq.
Yeah, I mean, he once said he'd like to be known as
the big Aristotle.
Because Aristotle said, excellence is not a singular act, it's a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. Well, Shaq's lived by that on and off the court.
Nurkic dishes to Junior.
Hey.
Sent back by Jokic.
Yeah, you like when Jokic is this active on the defensive end. More blocks, please.
Monte Morris is checked in for Denver. There's 48 seconds left here in the second. Nurkic finds Lillard. Knocks down the 3 ball. Lillard's got 13.
First 3 of the quarter and 3rd overall, guys. The defense might want to step up just a little bit on him from this point on.
Morris into the lane. Goes back up. The shot misses. Great D that time from Nurkic.
It's a plus advantage for them in rebounding after that one. No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Lillard against Morris. Pass to Jokic. And here is Murray. Over McCollum. Murray, no good.
De ne úgy.
It's McCollum on the wing.
És zöld.
And the Trailblazers another 3.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Yeah, the other team a bit concerned here.
Meglepetés szak
And
van
the lead seems to be growing.
Denverben.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start.
8.8 assziszt, ez jó hangzik.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Really an incredible game from Lillard.
You know, I don't think he'll top the assist charts this year, but early on he's done a great job of keeping the ball hopping around.
You can get into a passing rhythm, and so far all of his have been on point.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony is out there with Nurkic, and it's Junior in at the 3 spot.
Nem baj.
Portland's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the 3-point shot tonight. Very respectable.
Hey.
Toughness and grit when you play. You've got to succeed in this league with those things at the forefront, right? Being tough.
Ez mi a fene volt?
And there are several players whose style you admire that play like that.
I mean, no doubt about it. You have the superstars, the Kawhis, the LeBrons, who continue to do it. They can intimidate you physically, but they also provide tremendous skill set. But 2 other guys, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, they're also guys that exemplify that toughness.
Most akkor melyiken maradsz? Bakker, az előbb nem váltottam ki. Az se volt jó. Most kiváltottam rá, az se volt jó.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And if you're drawing up your starting 5 for team irrational confidence.
Mondjuk gond egyelőre nincs, úgyhogy... Van időm még bőven. Megcsipni a 10. pontot.
There's the pass to Harris. Porter kicks to Harris.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's in there. McCollum's got 8 points.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
And the basket is good.
And they're showing much more focus here in the second half. More effort as well. And their offense starting to show signs of life.
Junior kicks to Giles. Passes to Junior. Lillard dishes to McCollum. Over Porter. McCollum no good.
The D giving him that shot, and that's probably not a good idea, but I guess they knew what they were doing that time.
And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession.
Kivezetted.
Let's take another look at the staunch defense during that mobile 1 block.
And they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense, but with big-time D.
Big-time D.
Lillard. He's got 13. Pass to Junior. Down low, here's Giles. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. This is his first chance at the line tonight. And he knocks down the first one. Denver making a switch here. Both good from the line that time. Now, here is Morris. Shoots over Lillard. No good.
Good defensive effort from Lillard there. He has the athleticism to play lockdown deep.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. And let's listen to head coach Terry Stotts review the game plan with his guys.
Hey, look, offensively.
Na nézzük, vissza kell jönnöm. Nem úgy tűnik. ...26 pont, még mindig 2 perc van vissza, de azért vissza kell jönnöm.
Pass to Jokic. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Első faltja a counternek, úgyhogy Jokicson védekezett végig.
Jokic, even though we look at his body and you don't think he plays physically, he can do that.
Gary Harris is checked in for Monte Morris. You know, you look at the 2020 class for the Basketball Hall of Fame, Greg, some great names headlined by Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. I mean, historic players.
And all the more emotional, Kevin, having Kobe enshrined after his tragic passing. But when you look at the accomplishments of this class, arguably the most decorated that the Hall of Fame has ever seen.
And Greg, you've gotten a bird's eye view, you've gotten a front court view, you've had a chance to be alongside these Hall of Fame players.
Incredible talents, great people, and truly they've been terrific ambassadors for our game.
Millsap and Jokic, the big men. The backcourt is Murray and Harris. And it's Porter in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Denver.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here.
10-11.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far. They've won 2 straight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Enes Kanter.
Yeah, it felt like there was more than one of them out there.
Most komolyan behoz erre a 4 másodperccel. Mennyire megalázó.
Free throw good, Porter.
And Michael Porter Jr. being drafted was a bit of a high risk, high reward due to the fact that physically he needed to come a long way to be consistent in the NBA. Maybe seeing signs that it's going to pay off with huge dividends.
And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Szerintem egy még belefér.
That'll do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge.
New endorsement.
This is Kevin Harlan along.
Még egy szponzor, még egy szponzor. Simán jó. Ezt bevállaljak 25-öt a dupla-duplákért. Jött a lóvé, és akkor nézzük a Suns-t, akik viszont elég gyengén szerepelnek eddig. A piros már volt. Akkor jöjjön az Oregon.
So one thing that I think might actually be interesting is we might have a lot of smaller players this year. If you are, 6 foot or under, you get a massive speed boost. You have access to higher ball handling ratings as well as like 3-point ratings. So a lot of people might gravitate toward that direction this year. Having said that, in our online test here internally, we've got a guy who plays as like a 7-foot center
törpeként
every
is
single
nyomhatom
time.
ma jól a 22-be a Brotherhoodba, vagy Neighborhoodba, mert kapok extra boostot.
Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K. DA, take it away.
Hey Kevin, thank you. Chris Paul is still searching for his first title.
Thank you, DA. Terrific talented backcourts tonight. Greg, did it ever add anything for you playing across another top-level guard?
Listen, it raises the stakes, no doubt about it. You always want the opportunity to play against the best because you want to see where you stand. But in the end, even when you know a guy's better than you, you're going to have that be the case a lot of nights. You still know that you will have an ability to impact the outcome when it comes to winning. And that's where you have to keep your focus.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony is out there with Junior, and it's Nurkic in its center. And for Phoenix, Booker and Bridges are the wings. Ayton is out there with Jake, and it's Paul in at the 1. So the Portland Trailblazers able to put the first points up on the board. Ayton first shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
A towering presence on the offensive glass. Ayton uses his height well to keep possessions alive. And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Here's Paul. After the made shot from Carmelo Anthony.
Fogjátok ti a Krisz.
Paul can't get it to go.
Nem én fogom, legalább hála Istennek.
Looking to get into a flow offensively.
Nurkic the pass to Anthony. Three-pointer Lillard. Trailblazers keep it alive. And there's the pass to Junior. Shot clock at 5. The shot, no good. Good D by Booker. And up the court come the Suns on the break. Wasted no time on that one.
And this is how you convert in transition. Booker running the floor well and being rewarded for it. And basketball in the blood for Devin Booker. I mean, his father, Melvin, started at the University of Missouri and played pro ball. Started in high school. Devin trained with his father, trying to follow his path.
Now here's Anthony. 11 points for him in that last game against Denver.
Nurkic film, ez kevés lesz Ayton ellen.
Fade away. Shot by Crowder, no good. And we know the story, Booker moving from Michigan to Mississippi to live with his father and develop his skills.
And 4:30 a.m. alarms to train on the beach before the summer sun, getting to practice 2 hours early and staying late. Booker, not a freak athlete, so he had to work harder and drill the fundamentals.
I mean, he has his choice of finishing. Love that he picks the finger roll. Grace before power.
Pass to Lillard. Now, here's Junior. Defended by Booker. Nurkic kicks to Junior. Shot from the wing. Shot up 2 there. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Suns. Trailing by 2. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Back to Booker. Good work there as it goes.
Zöldeket dobál a kölyök.
He's got the hot hand right now. As long as he can keep getting open, they've got to keep feeding him.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Staying with your game plan is so important, especially when you are away from your home arena.
A platoon swap here for Phoenix. Outside Covington. 1:44 left to play in the first quarter. Collins passes.
Nem jó. Ezt kár volt elkérnem.
Off they go on a 3-on-1 break. Here's Johnson. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Ez a fej.
Mondjuk ez se rossz.
The Suns shooting their first free throw of the night.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
Now, here's Junior. He's coming off a 10-point game against Denver.
Yeah, and don't forget about his passing. I mean, he didn't forget about his teammates. He was spreading the ball all over the floor.
The Trailblazers shooting their first free throw tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
For Phoenix, they've gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Johnson outside. The Suns shooting their second and third free throws tonight. First one falls for him. Rodney Hood's check. System overall for these teams,
és most foghatom a Bookert, de jó.
How much can you really change before you get to the off season, or in particular before you get to the playoffs?
It's never easy. A system change would come typically with a coaching change, and the reality is you also have to evaluate the roster, and you can't fit that square peg into a round hole. Whatever your system is, it's got to be catered to the personnel you have. You can't go the other way around.
Szép, az de szép volt.
What separates oftentimes the good coaches from the great ones.
On the floor for Portland, Collins plays the 4 with Nurkic at the 5. Junior's out there with Damian Lillard, and it's McCollum in at the 3. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Nuggets, delivered quite a performance. He had 10 points, and his passing was just incredible. He piled up an impressive number of assists. It was a great combination for a guy who's considered to be more of a role player for this team. We'll see what he can bring to the table tonight, Kevin.
Excellent, David. Yeah, he was very assertive in that last game, making things happen.
Absolutely made his presence felt, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get it going early here tonight.
Bottom line, though, he's
Szarvédekezésem miatt faltalan Nurkic.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And they struggled a bit at the line in the first quarter, but they have been terrific in the second, up to almost 85% overall.
Oh, not many players with a more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Now, here's Junior. He has 5. Good work defensively by Crowder.
Playing him tough inside and preventing the layup. That'll get the whole team pumped up.
What you love about Crowder, he gives you a little bit of everything at both ends.
I mean, defensively, he'll take on anybody. He's smart, draws a lot of charges. Offensively, he can stretch the floor, and he'll make the extra pass. He's also an opportunistic rebounder.
Here's Lillard after the made shot from Jay Crowder. And Lillard kicks to Junior. Pass to McCollum. Shot clock at 6. Here's Junior.
Ez hülyeség volt a francba.
Good D by Booker. Phoenix leading by 6. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Shot by Crowder, no good. Portland's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. And that one, good. McCollum's got his second basket.
Oh, and even when you try to pressure McCollum, he stays calm. Gotta like his poise to the basketball.
Passes it to Paul.
Yo, bravo.
Trailblazers trail by 4. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And it's Junior missing.
Nem basszom el ilyen hülyeségekkel.
If they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Booker against McCollum. Booker the pass to Ayton. Paul outside. Shoots over Lillard. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
De még.
I appreciate watching Lillard give his all on D, showing the real.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Figyelj. Van órám is, de azt nem viselhetem a meccsem.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, guys, Devin Booker has been exceptional here.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding
Needle
them. This is the
treater.
right game plan.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All filled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. Booker and Bridges are the wings. Jay Crowder out there with DeAndre Ayton. And it's Paul in a
Needle treater.
That bucket.
Yeah, just superb focus there from Melo. Overpowering the D and still finishes.
Overpowering the D.
Paul against Lillard. Paul kicks to Booker. Crowder, the pass to Booker.
And get back.
And the shot goes down. Booker's got 16.
This is a guy who once scored 70 points in a game. Booker doesn't take much for him to start percolating.
Here's Anthony. Phoenix grabs the miss.
Szerintem egyszerűbben is megoldhattad volna.
Outside Crowder. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 7th assist in the game.
At 6'7", Jay Crowder weighs as much as some centers. He's built for contact.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Flattening the lottery odds, Greg. Do you think that's worked out as intended?
Na nézzük. Érdemes lesz-e még majd visszajönnöm.
A different look. DeAndre Ayton's checked in for Kaminsky. Johnson comes in for Saric. Bridges, he's checked in for Devin Booker. And it's Payne in for Paul.
Hoppa.
Here's Nurkic. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yusuf, nagyon kell. Szép.
Nurkic is 7'1". He's difficult to guard without foul.
Jay Crowder's checked in for the Suns. Anthony's checked in for the Trailblazers. Suns leading by 5. 54 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Payne. He feeds it to Ayton. Second chance shot. Back to Payne for the 3. Rebounded by Hood. Here's Junior. It's deflected.
Az önző mindenemet.
Now Payne. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Trailblazers trail by 5. Out to Hood, to the inside. Anthony, the pass to Junior. And it's Hood in the corner.
Azt be kell dobni, azt be kell dobni.
Drains it from beyond the arc. Hood's got 5 points so far.
You can't allow Hood to get comfortable from there. He loves getting the chance to shoot the 3 ball.
Fires for 3. Payne's shot is good. And the Suns lead by 5.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
Shots kicked.
Francba.
And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on the platter and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness.
Okay.
This is how you run an offense.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the court right now for the Trailblazers, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Junior's out there with Anthony, and it's Nurkic in at the 5. And so it's McCollum with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. It's a 5-point game. Shoots over Bridges.
Carmelo.
Shot is off. Phoenix has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Yes, that goes in. Booker's got 20.
not just an outside shooter. Booker is also skilled at getting it done from that area as well.
Inside, here's Junior.
Nem már.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
That's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt.
Crowder against Lillard for three. Booker. And the rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Bridges with it.
3 rossz döntés gyakorlatilag.
Nurkic with the block.
A defensive anchor. I mean, you got to admire how Nurkic uses his wingspan to turn shots back.
Anthony right side.
Azt nem tudod bedobni, Carmelo. A negyedik ilyened volt ma.
Johnson in the corner for 3. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that.
Cserét kérek magamra.
And getting them up.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Greg, you played against some terrific players, including the.
Besül levitt.
Is checked in for the Suns. Johnson comes in for Mikal Bridges. And a switch here also for Portland. Junior's checked in for Robert Covington. Here's Anthony. Busts the J after the KG pass fake. Anthony's got 10 points here in the second half.
Fake.
And Melo is highly explosive, nailing shots left and right. The D has got to get it out of his hands.
Near the three-point line, it's Booker. Rebounded by Anthony.
Jesus surprises anyone with that miss. When he's left alone like that,
Hát,
you can usually
ebbe volt most egy kis fal, de...
this fella blow many layups. Not against D like that anyway.
Booker against Lillard. Booker outside. Johnson in the corner. Good. A nice assist from Booker. Johnson's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Suns. Trailblazers trail by 15.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Suns.
In the end,
az
they had a
Oregon
better
mez nem
shooting
hozott
percentage, and that's
szerencsét,
what made the
úgyhogy...
difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Devin Booker.
I mean, he had a plan for how to attack the D. He executed and never let up. Relentless offensive basketball.
Lillard against Paul. Oh, Ayton in position. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Well, this is what guys play for, and when it pans out like this, it's a great feeling.
Good on the shot. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
When it comes to offensive rebounding, Cantor has led the league in offensive boarding rates. I mean, and when you think about it, perhaps the best at picking up his teammates' misses.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
No, you're right. He'd take that 10 out of 10 times. He's not going to miss many of those. Oh, the movement off the ball.
10 asszisztje is megvan, de... Mondjuk ez pofátlanság volt, nem vettem észre az órát. Na de mindegy is.
Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
És aztán látszik állni. Na de. Nézzük ezt a badge-eket. Ugye... Ugye itt a shootingban van egy upgrade lehetőségünk. És van egy playmaking-es is. Oké. Ez már jó, és akkor viszont ugye 7800 pénzünk jött, úgyhogy kimaxoljuk a close shotot. És javítunk az ittszerünkön is, amennyi a pénzbű belefér. Nagyon jó. Hát alakulunk. Alakulunk. Csapat az kevésbé, de a playoff-ér óriási lesz a küzdelem, az egészen biztos. Úgyhogy holnap is lesz valami, várhatóan. De lehet, hogy lövöldözés, sőt, majd meglátjuk, úgyhogy jó eséllyel holnap még találkozunk. Ne felejtsétek, nézzétek meg ha nem láttátok élőben a podcastünk YouTube verzióját. Megtaláljátok, majd egyszer beteszem ide a linket. Legyetek jók, jó ét, további FIFA sikereket, Ferenc. Ciao, ciao.